Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So welcome back. We're looking at Pauri 25 today. In the last verse we talked a lot about this infinity, and the Shabad began with Anta na sifti kehne na ant, about this unlimited praise. That was the expression of someone who had found that oneness. Remember, we talked about the 4 stages of enlightenment, and someone who had dissolved their self-identity and they were able to see that oneness everywhere. What would that expression be like? What would their song be like? What would their words be? But then Guruji goes on to talk about, what about the others? What about the people who aren't feeling that? What about the ones who still have that state of separation? How do they get there? What can be done to help those people? What is their place in the world? What do we know about the people who still believe in this delusion of separation? So this one in particular is quite relevant when we come across people who will define themselves as an atheist. And what we mean by that is people who are against this very structured idea of a God. Most people who call themselves atheists, what they're really talking about is a very Christianized concept of God. And even that which is the modern Christian concept of God, which is this Abrahamic kind of father figure that's sitting in heaven. And most atheists can't accept that. And the majority of people who are following that way of looking at God, whether it's within the Indic traditions, whether it's within the Eastern religions or in the Western religions, ultimately what they're talking about is a figure that just relies you to believe on someone, believe in some character. And so the majority of people who have lost their faith, and the word faith is very interesting here, because faith means that you have to trust against all the proof, you still have to trust that there is this thing that's out there. That's what we talk about when we talk about faith. That you've not seen this God, you've not heard it, you've not felt it, but there's enough people that are believing in it. How strong is your faith? How strong is your ability to believe in something that you've never seen? What we have to ask ourselves is what value does belief hold in our life? How long can we carry on believing in something we've never seen, we've never heard? Nobody around us seems to be talking about having seen it or heard it. So how long can we carry on believing in something like that? And we almost have to have a lot of sympathy for the atheist, because it seems that modern religions don't seem to have anything to offer them. They're just continuing this old way of thinking. So Guruji starts by talking about this concept of grace. And the Pauri begins, Bauta Karam likhya na jaye. In your English translations, you may see the word blessings for Karam. Bauta Karam, so many blessings, a lot of blessings. But having gone through this process and looking at the spellings now, we can see that the word Karam is a singular word. It has an aunkar. So it cannot mean blessings. Blessings is a plural word. So you can say blessing, but for me the word grace seems to fit a lot easier. Karam as a singular word being grace. So if we were to translate this line, Bauta Karam likhya na jaye, we would say, so much is the grace, cannot be written. Bauta Karam likhya na jaye, cannot be written. Life is a continuous outpouring. Think of life like this vast ecosystem. And it's been fine-tuned to meet the needs of everything and everyone within that ecosystem. It's a continuous cycle of continuous giving. Nothing is ever wasted in this system. Even when something is destroyed, it becomes food for something else. And we can see that in nature. Nothing ever lies there wasted forever. Some creature, some animal, some plant, something is always able to use what we would say is dead. So there is a way of seeing the world as a continuous cycle of giving. Everything is always receiving. And the ones who've seen the world in this way have called that system grace, a divine gift. We heard about this in the third verse, the third Pauri of JAPJI Sahib. Gave ko taan hove kise taan. Some people sing of the might and the power of the oneness, if they have the power to do so. Gave ko daat jane nisan. Some people sing of its grace, its ability to continuously give, and they recognize the oneness as a giver, jane nisan. So to the people who see the world in this way, everything is a gift. Everything becomes a reason to be thankful. Everything is a reason to be humbled, because when you get given a gift that you don't expect, you feel humbled. You feel unworthy. You feel small because someone has shown you an act of kindness, an act of love. And so to the people who see the world in this way, every moment is a moment of grace. Every moment is a receiving in some way. And they know that nothing is theirs. Nothing is what they have for themselves. Nothing is what they own. Nothing is things that they have created for themselves. Everything is a gift. And when we start to think like this, we can see how much has been given to us. Let's start with the body. Where has this body come from? Think about this machine that's with you all the time. Where does it come from? Even your mother and father don't know how, from a couple of cells, an entire body is formed. The scientists may tell you that a cell splits to another, to another, to another. But where is it getting that from? Where is it getting that impulse to do that? Where is it getting that energy to do that? What keeps that system going? And from two simple cells, so much can be created. And it seems to work by itself. Look at your body. No batteries, no electricity, nothing to plug in, nothing to recharge. We don't have many things in our life that work in that way. Everything draws energy from somewhere. All the lights are on, all the motors are running, and they're running continuously, even when you're asleep. The shop floor is running, the factory, the workshop, it just keeps going. And then there is the food that this body takes. Where does that come from? Every year, you look at trees in the winter, they're barren. And then it's a surprise every time when blossom comes in the spring, where out of nowhere, life seems to form. And each tiny little flower gives birth to big, healthy, nutritious fruit. Where does that come from? What is that which just keeps giving? You don't have to do anything. You take an apple tree as an example. You don't do anything to it. It just keeps giving every year. And then you eat that fruit, you eat that food, and somehow the carrot, the apple, the cucumber, somehow those vegetables, when they enter into your body, they create blood, they create bones, they create cells, they create movement, they create life. What is it that you've eaten that's managed to keep this body alive for so many years? How does life transfer from a fruit into you? When we start thinking like this, we begin to realize that actually we're being given things all the time, but we're just not aware of it. Then there's the warmth of the sun, the light of the sun that continues to shine without anybody asking for it. It just carries on. Then there is the air that your body breathes. Plants are just continually giving that air. And then there is breath. If there's no other gift that we can appreciate, if everything sounds too religious and too airy-fairy, there's one gift that everyone can appreciate, and that is breath. This magic system of simply drawing breath in, and it keeps you alive. The life giver. Each time you breathe in is another moment that you can stay alive. And what have you done to deserve that gift? How have you earned that gift? What do we do that makes us worthy of receiving another moment of life? If we bring our awareness to our breath, we can realize that every breath is another opportunity at life. And we've done nothing for this. There's just something invisible that continues to give this to us. And this system of giving isn't exclusive for people. It's there for every creature. We only have to watch any of these nature documentaries on TV to realize how perfected this ecosystem is, that every tiny creature has some way of surviving. Every creature has within their environment the things they need to give them shelter, to give them warmth, to give them food, nutrition, life.